We have these thoughts. When we redirect them and reinforce them with feeling, then we're putting the universal and spiritual laws into action. We are practicing God. Many of us are not used to putting a lot of verbs before the word God. Practicing God, using God, feeling God, manifesting God. Because we still in many ways perceive God as the other. God is more than the other. God is the principle that stands under all, that infuses all, that is above all, that is below all, that is through all. That's what omnipresence means. Omnipresence. There is no place where God is not. There's no place where the spiritual principles and laws do not apply. Guess what? That includes us. That includes us. We are a walking manifestation of spiritual principle and law. But we got to use it well. We've got to use it well. We're also a walking manifestation of baggage, history, and fear. All right? Which suitcase are you going to pick up? What are you going to carry? And it's not just a big picture question. It's a everyday moment minutia kind of question. What am I going to pick up? What am I going to carry? What am I going to use? How am I going to use God today? This is not about what God the other wants. It's about what you want. And by the way, since you are the very essence and spiritual principle as well, sure, it's about what God wants. But not God, but God. So when I and you choose to care for others, that's God caring. But where's that sense of caring coming from? Because again, we can care and love others from a really narcissistic, unhealthy place, right? On a codependent place, right? Yeah, we can. And again, these principles, they don't care how you use them because they don't care at all. There's no caring here. It's just there. So one of the things that someone said to me last week after I went through all this was, they said, so how does that work in relation to the 12-step program? Because when you go into a 12-step program, first thing is, we got to turn this over to higher power, right? And now you're saying God don't care. What am I supposed to do with that? Absolutely the same thing. Your higher power. You can choose it to be the old man in the sky. You can choose it to be the chair you're sitting in. I was in a 12-step group, and one guy said, listen, I'm an atheist. I'm only here because I ain't got nothing else. I got nowhere else to go, nothing else to do. I've tried everything else. But I am an atheist. How am I going to turn this over to a higher power? And the guy running the group said, listen, man, the chair you're sitting in could be the higher power if you want. The idea and the premise is simply realizing that everything you've tried up to this point hasn't worked. The belief system you've had about yourself and God hasn't worked. The willpower that you've been trying to transform your life with hasn't worked. So let that go and pick up something new. The new thing you can pick up is a teaching of universal spiritual and principle and law that is God. And amazingly, this works. This works. Remember last week I told you, I'm a spiritual skeptic. I'm not just going to do it because you told me it works or it's good. I got to try it for myself. And this works. One of our 12 powers is the power of will. And when we approach it from a place of it being a principle, it transcends our limited human will that is frail and can be weak at times to something that stands above, beyond, through everything else.